Recently, Universal Studios finally announced that the LEGO Movie 3 is officially in production. While it was always only a matter of time, there had been some fears among LEGO fans that the third installment of everyone's favorite plastic brick franchise might not come to fruition after all. While the first LEGO Movie was a massive success for LEGO, the LEGO Movie 2 was a bit of a flop at the box office, and shortly after, Warner Bros. Sold the rights to the franchise to Universal Studios. With LEGO being the largest toy company in the world, Universal was quick to sign a 5-year deal, and now the first film with this new partnership is finally on the horizon. In fact, the LEGO Movie 3 is actively in development as I speak, and while details are sparse this early on, there are a few things we know and a few things we can safely speculate on. If you haven't seen the first 2 LEGO movies, go watch them. Really, they're amazing. Initially released back in 2014, the LEGO Movie introduced Emmett, an optimistic yet naive minifigure character voiced by Chris Pratt. In order to prevent the evil Lord Business from using the Kraggle, Emmett teamed up with his heroes such as Batman, Benny, Unikitty, and Lucy, or better known as Wildstyle, to help save the world. Not only was the movie a smashing success as entertainment, it also managed to increase LEGO's sales revenue more than any other single marketing campaign in the company's history. The year after the release of the LEGO Movie, they reported sales jumped 25%. When the inevitable sequel was announced, there were incredibly high expectations from fans. Overall, the LEGO Movie 2 really delivered a lot of what fans from the first movie loved, but also left much to be desired. Set 5 years later, the people of Bricksburg are attacked by the inhabitants of the Sistar system. Not long after, Emmett's friends are kidnapped by these invaders and taken to meet the Queen. Luckily, Emmett is still able to save the day, and the Sistar system merges with Apocalypseburg to create a new connected universe. However, as is the case for many movies, there were still a lot of questions left unanswered, and to make matters worse, the LEGO Movie 2 massively underperformed at the box office, and it looked like it might be the end of the series. But alas, we now know that the LEGO Movie 3 is in production. So, what exactly do we know? What details have we heard? Well, we do know that the original writers from the first 2 films, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, will be returning to take charge of the newest installment, which is great news for fans. Additionally, producer Dan Lin has signed on to return as well, so we can expect the LEGO Movie 3 to feel pretty familiar overall. Or can we? In a recent interview, Dan Lin said that they wanted to switch it up and take things in a different direction for this movie, claiming that they've, quote, reinvented the LEGO Movie in a cool way. Now, exactly what that means could be anyone's guess and up for interpretation, but it sounds like they're experimenting with some different concepts. If you have any predictions, let me know in the comments. Now, drastic changes aren't necessarily uncommon in LEGO movies. I mean, just look at the difference between the LEGO Movie 1 and 2. While the first movie was fairly upbeat and took place in a very typical LEGO city, the sequel was a Mad Max-inspired post-apocalyptic feel with alien invaders. With these kinds of changes from movie to movie, the third installment in the franchise could really go in any direction. And as far as speculation, it's reasonable to assume that the next movie will take place in, or at least reference, the universe set up at the end of the LEGO Movie 2. Likewise, it'll be important to look for tones and themes from the first 2 movies as they come up again. I mean, the song really all sums it up. While the original LEGO Movie had the song Everything is Awesome, the sequel featured the parody Everything is Not Awesome, and generally had a bit more of a depressing feel to it. It's also very important to point out that it's been 8 years since the original LEGO Movie, and so a lot of the kids who really enjoyed the first LEGO Movie are much older now, and so perhaps a more mature storyline is going to appeal to them. This happens with more kids-focused series all the time. Just look at Harry Potter movies for how a series can grow and change with a maturing audience. Now, of course, I'm certainly not expecting a dark or brooding movie unless Batman suddenly replaces Emmett as the primary hero, but seeing a few more serious moments and topics wouldn't surprise me at all. Speaking of Batman, I think it's safe to say that he won't be the only returning character in the LEGO Movie 3. While there have been no official casting announcements yet, I would be shocked if they weren't able to get back at least some of the all-star cast from the prior films. With actors like Jason Momoa, Chris Pratt, and Alison Brie, there are some pretty high expectations for the LEGO Movie 3 to really deliver on the star power. But if anyone can deliver on this, it's Universal Studios, so I have high hopes here. I'd also expect to see some characters continue their evolutions. Going through an apocalypse can really change a person. I mean, just look at Surfer Dave. By the time the second second LEGO Movie wraps up, this once rad surfer is now a menacing Chainsaw Dave. What will life in the LEGO Movie 3 bring for him? I'm kinda curious to see. But of course, I think one of the things we can all expect is another wave of amazing sets. The first two films gave us some absolutely amazing sets, such as the massive Apocalypseburg, Benny's incredible spaceship, and even Emmett's functional and versatile double-decker couch. What do you think? Do you have any predictions or anything specific that you hope to see in the LEGO Movie 3? Let me know in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe to stay up to date on the latest LEGO Movie news.